I have tried to compost animal bones before and I ended up just picking them out of the garden whole. So instead, let's take a whole chicken and run it through its journey to becoming soil. If you eat meat and you don't buy chicken whole yet, you really should try it. I look forward to the day that we grow our own meat birds, but for now I rely on the grocery store for my chickens. And buying whole is a great way not only to save money, but consume a bit more responsibly. I'll roast my chickens whole, spatchcock them, or break them down and cook them into their individual parts. But whatever way that I'm preparing my bird, I'm going to be left with the carcass or the bones. Now, I could try to compost this carcass, in all likeliness rot and attract rodents and pests and be a nasty mess. Instead, I'm going to add some mechanisms. So I'm going to speed up the process and decompose it a little bit more effectively. So starting with the most obvious, I'm gonna roast up the bones and make chicken broth. I'm also gonna add veggie peels that I've collected throughout the week, by the way. I've got some mushroom bottoms, some carrot peels, onions, and garlic skins, and these are gonna flavor the broth. Once that's happened, I've extracted a good amount of collagen and some minerals that my family gets to consume, and then I'm left with some more kind of crumbly chicken bones. Now at this point I have some options. For broth leftovers, I like to send these to my bokashi bin once they've cooled down. And bokashi is a lot less intimidating than it sounds. If you've been waiting to start a bokashi bin, maybe this should be your year. This is a process of pre-fermenting food scraps and plant material, meat, dairy, cooked foods. Everything can go in here for the purpose of even and safe decomposition in the soil or in a compost pile. All you need for this is a bucket and a microbial inoculant. You can buy a bokashi brand. We've got tutorials on how to make your own. You can use lactic acid bacteria. You can probably honestly use kefir or yogurt whey. You could use your IMO 3 or 4 if you've got it. Whatever you want to use, you got to just coat your food scraps in the microbial inoculant, press them down to the bucket, seal it up, and collect the juice once in a while. And this food scrap leachate, by the way, can go on the compost pile or in the soil where there's no plants in the ground. And then once your food scraps have fermented for a few weeks, you can compost them right alongside your dried leaves, grass clippings, crop residue, everything else. Using this technique, I've been making soil out of meat scraps, dairy, and other food waste for years. Now back to the chicken bones. These will undergo a microbial decomposition process in the bokashi bin, but I found that if I can crush them up a bit beforehand, that gives them the best chance at fully decomposing in the compost pile. But let's say that they're too big to crumble, or maybe I've got some beef or pork bones that I've already made bone broth out of, and I don't want to toss them. For these, we're going to take another detour. So first stop, we can do the same vinegar extraction as we did for our eggshells. This one is going to contain a bit more phosphorus compared to the eggshells, but still a good amount of calcium. And then just make sure to scrape off all of the fat and cartilage from the bones before doing the vinegar soak, because those can throw off the concoction and the fats can mold and get nasty. And then after the vinegar extraction, the bones are going to be more easily crushable. So you could do that and mix them into your bokashi bin.